So hey guys, I'm gonna go to the Apple store today and I'm gonna be trying to get some specs on the new iPhone 17 Pro and also on the MacBook Pro M5 and see if either one of the devices are worth it for any of the professionals. Me personally, I think Pro devices are definitely for Pro people, but you just have to figure out how often that you want to upgrade. I know for me, when it comes to the iPhone, maybe every 6 years because of the price and the quality, and they're very durable. Maybe not like they can't shatter or anything, but how well that they're well designed and how they're able to last. And for the Macs, I think they're good for a good 6 to 10 years. So it's all about how you use it and making sure that you spec it up to the way that you want it, because you can't customize it after you buy it. So I'm gonna see if any of the workers are gonna give me a walkthrough of any of the devices and see how well that they work. I'm looking at the new iPhone 17 Pros. Very different designs. I like this blue one. It's a little bit darker, kind of a purplish. You see it in person. There's an orange one that caused a lot of controversy. It actually looks a lot better in person than it looks on camera. Then we got a silver one right here. Hi there. So anyways, here are the specs. So they have different iPhones. The basic one is the Air and the regular 17. I heard that they're really good. Me personally, I always go for the regular Pro. They have a 6.3 screen, same spec as the 16 Pro, the one that I have. 11 A17 Pro. Has an 18 megapixel front camera. Can zoom, has center stage, which is really good for the phone camera because you couldn't do that before. And then all the cameras on the back are 48 megapixel, which is really good. Like I said, this is more for people who do filmmaking. And the battery life, definitely really good. I can say for myself, using the 16 Pro, I feel like I don't even have to charge my phone twice, unless if I really need to and I have to record a lot of footage. But other than that, it lasts us for like a good day. It could last a day and a half if I didn't use it as much as I do. Because I'm a content creator and business owner, and I do a lot of stuff on my phone. But here's some more specs. It comes in 3 different colors. Once I had just showed you. The displays will always get better with time. And some people like their device is really bright, but I think that kills the battery life. And it's the same size as the 16, so that's good. And just to understand this, that means that you can't dump it in water, but it can get wet. So if you try to throw it inside your tub, don't expect it to work because it's not waterproof. Apple Intelligence is definitely getting better with time, and I think they have integration with ChatGPT.
Thank you, because I'm like very confused right now. What's your last name?
I think the main focus for people that have the iPhone as a camera, because what we mainly do is record videos. So let's see. It's very nice and clear. I like how you can just go through the menus. coming out nice and clear. I think the colors came out really nice. Like I said, I would mainly use this phone for video. So if you're in a budget for a new phone, especially if you have iPhone 11 or later, I think it's time for you to upgrade now. So now we have the iPad 14 inches and then the 16 inch. Just to let you know, fun fact, the speaker design is just for decoration, but the speaker is actually inside the keyboard. So just to give you some reference. And then the trackpad is just as big as the phone. If you want something more portable and better battery life, I believe, I would always go with the 14 inch. And let's see what the prices are. So I just found out that they don't have the M5s right now. I don't think it has released yet, but I'm gonna check online. Let me go on Safari real quick, and we'll just go through some of the features that it will have. I think if you're gonna be deciding between the 14 and a 16 inch, I would think about the weight, the portability, and also battery life. Even though that the 16 has better battery life by paper, but just imagine how much power it takes to power up the screen, the keyboard, and all that, and it just drains the battery a lot faster. What got me excited about it, the price.
Okay.
I always like to go with price first because that will let me know some of my expectations for what it is. But as you can see right here, it starts at about $1,600 for the 14 inch and starting at $2,500 for the 16 inch. And just for reference, I had the M3 MacBook Pro 14 inch, and it was more expensive than their fully spec'd out one right here. Mine has a 1 terabyte, 16 gigs, and I paid almost $3,000 for mine. So this is like a big difference that you take into effect.
And you need to use all three of them, and then there's your
Anyone who would decide for a Pro, you're gonna get ports right here on both sides. I wish that they would bring back the card readers, the CD readers, but you have micro SD port. So if you're a heavy on video recording or video editing, I do miss the touch bar. For all you people who hated it, I think it was so when it came to me editing a lot faster and I felt more connected to my work. This can be described for people that use the iPads, for instance, and you feel more connected to your work. And me personally, I feel like Mac shouldn't have a touchscreen on like their main display because fingerprints, and also what if the screen gets messed up? That's a whole nother story. Apple Care, you know, that can get expensive. So I think it's good how it is. I think for someone like me who records a lot of videos between courses and podcast episodes, I would always go for the 1 terabyte. So I might just go through this like if I was buying it for myself. So this is the specs that I have on my M3 currently. I'm not sure if it's 12 cores, but
it's either or.
like I said, I paid almost $3,000 after taxes and Apple Care and all that.
Thank you for
So you have to keep that in mind.
This is
Carolyn can attest, I tried 5 different ways, and
Yeah, you can trade your old Mac and get some credit for it, but I personally like keeping my devices because you never know when one might break down when you have the other one. But it's great that they're going to have Apple Intelligence integrated
Yeah,
into
it's return
everything,
on for sure.
and I think it can
So
be
yeah, it has the
useful.
M3 instead of the M4, but what you're going to
Oh, it says that it'll be out on the 22nd, so it's almost here.
I'm gonna send
You can get it shipped at home or you can get it picked up.
$2.99
So it would be
will get charged to your
$100 off, so
credit
that'd
card
be
per month,
$8.30.
and then
No,
you have
so
90 days
either
of
or.
Apple Fitness
either
to
the
try it out.
educational
Let us know
discount
how you
or
like
the
it.
prices will be
Congrats on
further.
the Apple Fitness and the
You're
Yeah.
getting a discount on that.
The prices are really good.
This,
Okay.
when this was the newest one, was $1,200.
So that's the
You're getting
M4,
it for $929.
but you can see it gets more expensive. it's
So in
funny
order
that
to
the
do that, it's
M5s
only
are
through the
actually
website because there's the
military?
Yeah, because you use ID
cheaper.
to validate
Yeah.
the militariness.
And you're getting a
And
little
so
bit
you go
more.
on the bottom of the page.
Don't worry
here
too
and
much
you'll
on
see
the
shop for veterans
cores,
and military.
but focus more on the
Here you can
RAM, on what type of user
Verify
you
with
are.
ID.me.
Would you be able to tell me price?
Now let's look at the
I wouldn't know
16.
for sure because I'd have to get into to give. It says a 10%.
Okay, so that'd be
So that would still be $100.
The prices aren't too bad, pretty standard
Oh, well,
for the
no,
16-inch
my bad.
because it's a bigger screen,
so
and of
it'd
course
be
it's going to have more power. And that's the point that I was making to you guys, saying that the more power, the more it's going to eat up your battery.
So that's better than educational discount.
What color is the offer?
All of them. Oh, sorry. What colors? You mean like midnight?
Yeah, you can spec everything
Midnight,
out.
starlight.
Keep in mind when you get these Macs, you're stuck with what you have
If you do it
because you
through
cannot
design, it should be the same way
turn,
as
you
if
cannot
do the same, like,
exchange
settings
this
as buying it on the website.
internal memory for anything else.
Typically, if I'm just doing like a regular purchase.
So the standard, it has glare. I'm pretty sure you can see my reflection on here,
What's your zip?
but with the nano texture,
So should I ship it here or should I ship it?
it's supposed to have a more matte finish. And as you can see, you can bump it up even more. I don't think anyone needs this much power. I think 24 is enough for most people, but we're just going to spec it up just to get pricing.
From here, my mom's here. So I'm trying to buy this and I need
I would always get Final Cut Pro, and for those of you who don't know,
Cut Pro and Logic Pro, if you have it on a previous Mac, you get up to 5 licenses. So that can last you for years. So hopefully they'll keep that model instead of trying to upcharge people with subscriptions. But I think the flat rate is just enough. It might sound pricey, but you can get those educational perks. As long as you have a student ID and username and password, you can get good credit for it. I think you get $20 or $30 off, but me personally, I'd rather get it underneath my Apple account and keep it from there.
so yeah, Final Cut Pro is good for people who do movies, whether documentaries, Instagram, TikTok, and all those other platforms, and then Logic Pro is more for music makers. This is good for videographers as well because I know that you incorporate that.
Wednesday. I'd have to ship
Yeah,
it to me.
we'll see how the prices continue to go up. And you get 3 months free of Apple TV, which is pretty standard for any Apple device that you normally get.
What? Tell me.
But here is the model that I think most people will get. Or let me do the pricing of how I would get mine. So I think I would start out right here.
1079, so 1079. So yes, it would be a little bit
Yeah.
cheaper, but
I think I would get this one.
with the turbo set, then getting an older one that.
I don't think I would get the nano texture.
For this one,
That I just think of fingerprints sometimes, but yeah.
could we look
Some
at
people might spec this up if you're a heavy gamer.
plus tax with your 10% tax included?
But I think I could just get an external hard drive, and then you can get
If I were to leave with this one
a
today,
power adapter. I might as well get that so I can speed up the charge a little bit faster.
I need an exact.
And I already have these two right here, so I don't need to buy a new license.
Educational discount.
And then you can see the price right there. But say if I were to add these two for what my use is,
Oh, military discount is better.
It's the same thing.
the price comes out to that, which is very affordable.
Leave with this today.
Yeah, you'd have to, if you don't already have an ID.me account, you'd have to
She
create
does.
Word. So you would just sign in.
And then it's asking you about
Could you do that just so I can pay price?
Apple
Leave with
Care.
this today.
Are you just getting it for the Mac, or do you want it for multiple devices? And it says that you can have it up to 3 devices. It can be done monthly.
And then we're able to do it.
Helen, if you can get together.
But I would definitely stand with this and go with the 3-year.
I did my math right.
And make sure that you get your adapters.
with the military discount tag.
If anyone that has a USB
Find out for sure.
adapter
Sign in.
or a VGA cable,
And you said you want this color?
cleaning cloth. I think everything else is just extra.
Now you're gonna sign this.
But Macs already come with keynote pages, numbers, and all that. Same function as the Microsoft 360, but most people run Microsoft. And then you can get cases for it as well. Now let's review the bag and get the final cost with everything that I added. And then you just have to put in your zip code and that'll get your final costs. But in Massachusetts, our rate is 6.25, so this would be roughly close to about 3,000, which isn't bad. And most Macs last for a good 6 to 10 years. So I wouldn't see myself getting any other device if I were to upgrade, if I had an older device. But I hope this video was very helpful for you, finding out what Apple products that you would get. And hope you either choose the 17 Pro if you think it's good quality for you, or get the MacBook Pro 14-inch. Those are my two recommendations for the holidays. Hope you all enjoyed.